question I get, especially from people kind of thinking about being in the industry and also those new stagers and designers, is, Audra, when just starting my business, what should be the 3 most major things I focus on my time? And really, those 3 things need to be: number 1, your brand and your website has to be gorgeous, has to be beautiful. I do a marketing training on this that I highly recommend that you take. It's a free workshop if you want to see it on. And we also offer websites. They've got to be beautiful. You've got to look professional. You got to look the part. Your clients expect it. Number 2, focus on your portfolio. Showcasing your talent, what you do. And if you have to do rooms in your own home or a friend's home, or even if you have an agent friend that you're going to do, a couple rooms for free for, because you need that portfolio, that is your bread and butter. I always say you'll be better tomorrow than you are today, but you've got to focus on those things and always showcase them and always replace those photos on your site so that you look good. And also, you gotta be marketing yourself, because here's the deal. You could be the best designer in the world, but if you're not marketing yourself, no one's gonna know it. And so I spent a whole week in my staging training talking about marketing, and a huge portion of the training is also about presenting yourself, professionalism, and making that marketing easy for you. But in this part of the presentation, I thought this kind of goes perfectly with what I talked about with the marketing. Because what I see and how I see stagers and designers kind of getting over that hump with their marketing is they get those first few jobs and then things start growing. But it's getting to those first few kind of agent partners that know who they are and refer them business, or whoever that ideal target market is for whatever service that is, referring you business, then things start moving. So let's talk about how to stand out and look like a rock star. This is a portion of that training, and it really starts with streamlining your marketing funnels. So whether you're a stager, designer, color consultant, whatever service you really want to focus on, you need to have a marketing funnel for each one of those services. And here's kind of what I mean. We need to automate things. When you have automated marketing uniquely for each one of your design services and staging services, you're not always marketing yourself, because here's what happens. We get paid according to our time. We get busy. So when you get busy, you want some sort of automated marketing system in the background that's constantly filling your pipeline with leads and people and emails so that you can kind of build your business that way. Personally, I have 100% automated my marketing for all my incoming leads. What I focus on marketing-wise is keeping those leads engaged and selling them through my blogs and my newsletters and what have you. So setting that up right away will really help your business. Your call to action, CTA, your ultimate CTA call to action in anything that you sell should always be to guide them to a discovery call with you, or just to pick up the phone and talk to you about that service. Or maybe a website form, which I'm going to show you an example of a really nice looking website form you could create very easily, put on your website from Honeybook. Because that's, if you know what your call to action is, what do you want people to do, and you can guide them to it, then the next step is just easy. So the website form, so if you have a website and you have a website form, a lot of people say, oh, I put my website up, nobody's calling me. Well, it's never an if you build it, people come. You put your website up, you need to drive traffic to it. So that website form works really with Google pay-per-click. Those two things go well together. The mistake I see stagers and designers make is they do an ad or a social post. Well, an ad, they're spending money on ads on Instagram or Instagram and Facebook, same thing. And the ad is, look at me, I'm selling my services. And they wonder why nobody's going to it. It's not interesting. People are going to their feeds to be entertained, to get free stuff. They're not going there to be sold something when it comes to Instagram and Facebook. If people are searching Google for a designer or a kitchen designer near them, guess what? They want that ad should be up there. Kitchen designer, if you do kitchen design, that ad should be there, and it should take them straight to your website form. Schedule a call or the service page for that service. So a lot of people don't understand the difference, but Instagram, Facebook, I'm going to show you how you market automatically on that. But how you market automatically on Google is a Google pay-per-click for each one of your services, so that when people in your area are searching for you, they go to your website service page where they can fill out a form and get a quote. Really natural stuff, right? So here is, I just built this in HoneyBook. HoneyBook is an awesome customer relationship management software. And in this case, it says, well, what type of design project are you looking for? And I'm allowing them to choose. If they were to choose, let's say, short-term rental design, then great, they're going to get my investment guide for that. They're also, because I'm getting their email, they're also going to get follow-up emails that tell them why I'm special, why they need to use me, why they shouldn't be designing it themselves, why I actually save them money, why actually I reduce their overwhelm. All those things, I'm speaking to their struggle in all the follow-up emails, and eventually they're going to buy from me. They're going to schedule that discovery call. And once they discovered that call with me, I know I've got them on the hook. So this is kind of what you can build for each one of your services, especially when you're just getting started. Before you do that, you got to be clear on your various clients, because if you offer staging, who are your clients? The seller, real estate agents, brokers. I mean, you've got a lot of different A-level clients, builders, but really real estate agents. What do real estate agents need? You got to speak to their struggle. It's different than really the seller. It's a little bit different. So you have to think about what concerns them about that design project. What concerns the agent about the staging? What concerns an Airbnb property manager whose client is complaining to them because they are not getting their house rented? And if you're offering Airbnb design, we have to talk to that struggle for each one of those services. So how can you offer them? And this is how you get to the Instagram, Facebook point. How do you offer people a free solution they will want in exchange for their email to help build a relationship? So if you're a kitchen designer, how about you have an Instagram ad that says, do you want my 6 secrets to a successful kitchen remodel? Click here to get my free PDF advice download. And here you can walk them through how they can successfully do their kitchen remodel. Meanwhile, your email follow-up is going to talk about the pain of choosing those finishes themselves, the expense and the costly mistakes that so often happens when they're not using an expert, how things actually cost more sometimes because you get things to the trade. Whatever makes you different, that's your email follow-up. That's how you get a client. This is an example in my color training. So for my color consultants, I offer a color training. We have this, it's a Canva template. It's 6 common color mistakes and how to make them, how to fix them, paint color mistakes. So this could be a wonderful ad, Instagram ad, or they could even do it as an organic post. This is very common. These mistakes people make, really easy to fix. Here's my advice and my guidance. And then ultimately the call to action, you see that, click to contact us, click to schedule a discovery call. So we're getting their email so that we can do email follow-up. And that's how you automatically build your email list and market yourself. Another one, let's say you want to do design plans, especially when it comes to living room design plans. So we have the 6 common living room design mistakes. This one is in actually, I think, all my trainings, especially my e-design training, where if you're going to create something like this in Canva, you first talk about yourself. Remember, people buy from who they know, like, and trust. So this is the law of attraction. Then you give them what they asked for, and then you close. The number one mistake is not making a plan. So speaking to the struggle for that particular service, and then click to discovery call. Remember, this is how you build relationships. And keep in mind, this is all coming to them automatically. All you did was set up an ad. So you set up the ad, you get your pipeline full, you get your discovery call full, because the key to any design service offering is in the marketing. Speaking to the struggle, offering the unique solution. And that's why I'm using lots of different examples, from kitchen design to living room design to staging to color, because every one of those services that you probably offer has its own struggle for your clients. And you have to speak to it. When I spoke and talked at the RESA convention, I said, how many of you do this? How many of you have an automated thing set up where you're just getting leads every day in the pipeline from either Instagram, Facebook, or Google? Nobody raised their hand. Hardly anybody's doing it. And we're paid according to our time. When people wonder why their phone's not ringing, well, there you go. And especially when you're getting started, it takes money to make money. Invest in this kind of marketing, but it has to be very strategic marketing. Once you've captured their email, you send them service specific, high value content closing with your call to action. Now, in each one of my trainings, I offer multiple high value content. So in that email follow up, and I also offer the email examples because I don't want people reinventing. In the bottom of the email, and you might want to screenshot this, you always include a PS or a hey, if you want expert guidance to avoid costly mistakes, schedule your free discovery call. Remember, that's my ultimate call to action. That's what I want them to do. I want them to get my advice. You also have to be clear on what makes you different. So what makes you different as a stager? How are you different than the stager next door? That should be in your follow-up emails. What makes you different as a kitchen designer? That should be in there. So all those things are kind of important to really standing out and looking like a rock star. But here's the good news. How do you attract perfect clients? You have to own your brand. You have to put yourself out there. This is just design industry 101. I don't care what form of design you do. If you don't have your photo on the front page of your website or all over your website and in all of your materials, you just can't do that. We are in the image industry. We're in the branding industry. People buy from you. Even if it's your assistant doing the work, they want to know it's your design talent. It's your stamp. So all of your stuff should be branded to you. And the good news is your clients, your ideal client is really just going to be a mirror of you. So that's great news because that means you're never truly rejected. Never, ever truly rejected. The law of attraction means there's a client out there for all of us. I know that if somebody doesn't go with my training, it's because maybe my style didn't fit, or it just wasn't a fit, my personality didn't fit, or they just don't like wine and I do. Just kidding. Anyway, the thing is, I put myself out there and I know when I do that, I'm going to get my perfect clients. And lo and behold, I do. I love every single person I work with. So when you do that, you're going to get the kind of people you want to work with. And then you put your business in those sales funnels where those clients are looking. So who is that ideal client? Where would they be looking? That's where you want your sales funnel to be. Because ultimately, they're someone who understands good design is an investment. They're willing to pay for it. Once you understand who that ideal client is, your marketing, your process, your voice, your website, your copy, your materials, your pricing is going to speak to them. And you can automate this. So set up the Google, set up those campaigns, feed those funnels, and fill your discovery call calendar. Yes, it costs money. Getting back to that first question, what would you do? I wouldn't spend money on inventory. I wouldn't spend money on all sorts of fancy stuff. I would spend money on my marketing. I am building my clientele. Imagine a client wait list. Automating your service funnels allows you to fill that pipeline with the right kind of clients, weeding out the wrong, because in my email series, I'm going to weed out the wrong, and the red flag clients, because I'm going to have a total onboarding process that'll do that. Then this is what happens. I'm over the hump. And then it's called hourglass marketing. If you've never heard of hourglass marketing, which don't worry, no one at the RESA convention did either, it's instead of just a sales funnel and boom, it's your sales funnel and then those people grow your business. How do they do that? Like an hourglass, see that? Sales funnel, the right people right there ended up buying. Those are the ones that are going to be your biggest cheerleaders growing your business. Once you start getting busy, guess what? You can let up on the ad spending. Focus on your repeat referral clients that were a fit to your business. Because we don't need to just design a kitchen. They might want you in the master bedroom. They might want you to do a color consulting. They might have a neighbor that wants you to come over. And this is the way that works. Because acquiring a new customer can cost 5 times more than retaining an existing customer, especially if it's a perfect customer. If you increase your customer retention by just 5%, you can increase your profits 25 to 95%. The success rate of selling to a customer you already have, 60 to 70%, while the success rate of selling to a new customer, 5 to 20%. If you are a stager and you are not actively marketing and have an active offboarding process to the people that you've staged their home, selling your design services or your concept-only design plans, I do e-design, or your color consulting for their new home, you are missing out on a huge part of your business. Because here is a hot tip. New homeowners are like 10 times more inclined and wanting to invest in the home they're moving into than the home they're selling. That's why it's so hard for us as stagers to get money out of them, because they don't want to invest in something they're selling. They want to spend on their new place. Don't you want that business? I know I would. So hopefully you liked this little marketing. This video turned out a little bit longer than I'd like. I get fired up about these automated marketing systems. In every one of my training, if you are interested, I have a very specific funnel I walk people through and email follow-up series, automated marketing system for every one of those services, whether it's staging, whether it's with real estate partners, whether it's e-design, whether it's color consulting or Airbnb design. I have a process and it's copy and paste so that you can set it up very easy, that service for your business. Or you can create this yourself. That's why I show you some of those tools and Canva templates that we include in our training for people, because I get it. Some people are on a budget. It's hard to do, but set this up. Set it up. Look professional. Focus on your brand. Get those sales funnels moving. Don't complain a year from now when you don't have any business because you never set it up. You've got time now. Set it up and you'll watch your marketing grow. There are a lot of other ways that you can market your business, but the reason I focus on setting up those automated funnels and ads in the beginning is because it's the kind of automation that works while you sleep. And I know you're going to get busy and you can always turn it off and turn it back on. And so one of the things that stagers and designers don't do is set this kind of foundational automation up. And when you do, then it just kind of works for you to build your business. So top 3 things to focus on: your brand, your website, because you can't have a funnel go to an ugly site and not attractive brand. And your portfolio, again, when they're coming to your site, they're checking out your work. So that has to look good. And then also those marketing automations to get you over that hump and let your business grow. And you can set that up for each one of your services. Don't introduce a new service until you've got that set up for your main service, the service that you love to do. And then you just keep setting it up for all those services so that you can just do all sorts of different types of work. Hope you enjoyed those marketing tips, and I'll see you in the next video.